Mama, there go that man again. All right. So, yes, ma'am, it is I, Realtor Rob, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Weekend Review. So, real quick, someone asked me the question or posed the question of what are you looking down at? What are you looking up, down, up, down? So, I post so much information and things that I want you guys to know. Like I said, I want you guys to know what I know to make you educated buyers. So, I go back through when I do these videos to try to pick out the highlights of the week, so I can share them with you and maybe, so you know which week to go to find certain information that pertains to you or that you're interested in. So that's what I'm doing. I try to go back through and comb through the weeds and see what's most important or what you should be considering when purchasing, selling, investing in homes. All right. So with that said, we're going to jump right into it. I got a lot of information. So, which I like to try to do, it doesn't always happen, but start with a motivational quote and then end with the most motivational quote to, send you off on the right note. So this week is covering the 10th of October, and we are going to start off with a motivational quote. So this one says, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. So it's only a weakness when you give up. Keep trying at least one more time. All right. I'm gonna cross that one off and go to the next. All right, this next one is things. Let's see. This is an article entitled Sense and Sensibility, 5 Mistakes That Could Decrease Your Home's Value. So we're always talking about increasing your home's value, appreciation, all that stuff, up. But little known stuff that could decrease your home's value. So I'm going to go through a couple of these, maybe, go into detail on a couple. So over improvements. So real quick, layman's terms, you do not want to be the big shiny object on your block in your neighborhood. You don't want to be the biggest house, the most decked out, improved house, because what we as real estate agents or realtors, and a real estate agent is not a realtor, so that'll be in another video. But what we do to come up with the value of your house is we compare it to sales previously sold homes in your neighborhood. So if you have a one-off, one-of-a-kind house, what do we compare it to? Where do we start the price at? So do yourself a favor and do not over improve your home. That's too much personalization, for you, not for the people that want to buy your home. So enough on that. So, and here's the next one, over personalization. So you have over improvement and over personalization. Inconsistency. So real quick, it says underneath that, instead of spending a whole bunch of money on one room, like the kitchen or the bathroom, maybe spread that money out throughout the house, improving the whole house instead of one room, one corner of the house. Removing a wall. And just for the sake of time, it's saying that, people, majority of people are looking for more rooms in the house instead of, I guess, bigger spaces in the house. You have a place for, big spaces and rooms, but if you have more rooms, we can have an office, we can have a playroom, you can have a playpen, that's more, I guess, warranted than, knocking down a wall for a bigger room. Functional obsolescence. So say that 3 times. But that is making improvements that aren't really up to modern times. So for instance, saying you have an entrance to a room through another room. That people aren't looking for that today. Or even this is a common one. Well, not common, but you see it more often than not, turning a garage into an extra bedroom. So now that might be good for you, your personal, family size and things like that. But what about the person buying it? They might have a $100,000 car that they are not going to park outside. They value that garage space more than an extra room. So before you turn that, garage into a room, think about it. And that is it for that one. Next, we have real estate terms. So let's see. I'm going to go through these because it's a lot. I don't know if I'll even get through all of them. DOM, that's just real quick, days on market. Buyer's market, that's when we have 6 months of inventory or above. And seller's market is the opposite, when we have 6 months of inventory or below. It's a little more, technical than that, but just, so you understand. CMA, that's what we run. That's a comparative market analysis. That's how we come up with a starting point, at least for your house. MLS is the multiple listing service, where we put your house so other realtors can see it and share it with their clients. Short sale is when you sell your home for less than what is, when you owe more on your house than what it sells for. There you go. So when you sell your house, you still owe money. DTI, debt to income. Know the difference between a fixed rate and an adjustable rate mortgage. Pre-qualification, pre-approval. FHA, which is the Federal Housing Administration. Underwriting, that's the process that the lenders go through to see if you're qualified to get a mortgage. Earnest money. Escrow, contingencies, closing costs. ASHI, American Society of Home Inspectors. So I have that all the week of 10 October. So if you want to get more in depth and read up on that, I would highly encourage you to do so. But for sake of time, I have to move on. All right, next. Let's see what we have. I had some food for thought here. So most of the time, people's opinion about you be just like their bank accounts. ... insufficient. So whatever people say about you to you, take it with a grain of salt. Do you. All right. So with that food for thought, now we have another motivational quote. So even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. So you have to keep moving towards your goal, moving in an upward positive position. All right, let's see what else. All right, so this next one is, don't wait for lower mortgage rates. It could cost you. So we are in the fourth quarter of 2021, and out of Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, the MBA, and NAR, those are the top four, mortgage folks. The average of all four say currently we had an average of 3.17. In the first quarter of 2022, they estimate 3.32. Second quarter, 3.45. Third quarter, 3.55. So you can see the trend there. It's going up steadily. So you're not, if you want to buy a house now, you're not going to be able to wait long enough for the rates to go down. So buy now. Now is the time to buy. Do not wait. All right. This next one is another food for thought, mainly, for my brothers and sisters in arms, but it could apply to anyone. I just thank you all for your service. Thank those that came before me, those that I served with, and those that are serving currently, So it says, and the truth is that all veterans pay with their lives. Some pay all at once, while others pay over a lifetime. And with that, perfect timing, I would like to say happy birthday to the United States Navy. It was, is this week, the 246th birthday of our United States Navy, the best Navy in the world. All right. I talked about this last week or the week before. So we shop around and price check for everything from TVs to getting hair done to buying cars, you name it. We're going to try to get the best deal. But for some reason, we do not do that when buying a home. Whoever gives us the first rate, we go with it, for whatever reason. You have to look at this as, like if you were a small business owner, you have to do what's best for you, your company, your family. So I have a networking partner, loan officer. Her name is Michelle Williams, and she is with KS State Bank. And she offers rate quotes with no credit pull. So that's like, that kind of blows my mind. I'm sure it blows your mind too. So at least get a second opinion. You know, we do it with the doctors. If you don't like what they're saying, hey, I want a second opinion, a third opinion. So why not do it with your mortgage? Because you're going to be married to this for 15 to 30 years. So let her work her magic and see if she can do better for you. See if there's better out there. All right. Let's see what I have next. Next, I have fact or fiction. All right, so these are some myths. And like I said, I don't have time to go through each one of them, but the article is here, or if you have a specific question, you know, just reply to this YouTube, send me a text message, email. So myth number one, you need 20% down. Maybe a few years ago, back in the days, not currently. Myth number two, paying mortgage insurance is smarter than paying a bigger down payment. Not necessarily, that's a myth. Myth number three, cash is king. So immediately you're like, of course, you pay cash, yes. No middleman. Not necessarily. A little caveat on that is that I know some sellers that have lived in their community neighborhood so long that they actually care about who buys, who comes in after them, because they love the neighbor to the left of them, to the right of them, in front of them, behind them. So they want to leave their neighborhood in good hands. They don't want some cash investor coming in, buying a house to rent out. So keep that in mind too. Cash is not always king. Myth number four, down payment assistance is easy. Again, not necessarily, case by case, you know, and keep in mind, down payment assistance, there is no such thing as free money. So there are strings attached. It could be something like, you know, staying in the house a minimum of 3 years, or it could be, you know, any number of other things. But just make sure, you know, you have the details on the programs, and just know that going into it, that it's no such thing as free money. Myth number five, you shouldn't put more than 20% down. So read what it says about that. Myth number six, you can take out a loan for a down payment. So real quick on this, you can read it, but I'm gonna just give you my spin on it. If the bank is gonna loan you money, why would they want you to pay them back that you borrow from someone else? So you're borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. I don't know. It doesn't sound right. I mean, they're going to be looking out for their best interest. So if you can't even pay them back, why would they let you borrow money from someone else to pay them? Yeah, exactly. All right. We're coming to the end of this. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not a train. Okay, so celebration, a little bit of personal news. So my youngest daughter graduated from Ogle Cosmetology School this week. So shout out to her, hats off. If you want to get your kitchen done or nails, facials, she does a little bit of everything. Let me know and I can put you in contact with her. All right, I think we're coming to the end. Okay, we got our hump day. The houses that I put out, you know, above 300,000, between 200 and 300,000, and under 200,000. So that's a given. I do that if the sun keeps shining. I do that every week. And then we are going to end, like I had promised, on a motivational quote. So it is, if you believe, this is actually from a year ago. So this is another Facebook reunion or, you know, recap or whatever. So it says, if you believe it'll work out, you'll see opportunities. If you don't believe it'll work out, you'll see obstacles. So with that being said, we're going to end this week in this episode of the Week in Review. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And until next time, take care of yourself, those around you. And this is Realtor Rob signing off.